Hey guys, Mike here, Iron Creek Metal Art. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm out from behind the camera today, which could only mean one thing. You get to see the grinder today that I've been talking about for weeks now. So I wanted to just do a little intro to this, do a quick walkthrough of the shop, let you see what I work out of. A lot of people think I have a big shop, 3-car garage on the side of the house. It's a nice spot to work out of. I really like it. Bursting at the seams with stuff, so try to stay organized as possible, and you'll see that I don't always accomplish that. So and the other thing I wanted to address is the TW90 clone that I did and the pushback I got from that. I learned a lot from that, took a lot away from it, and this design that I'm about to show you, I utilized some of the elements, specifically the tensioning mechanism off of that, and I'm okay with that. If that offends you or makes you angry or whatever, you want to send hate mail, okay, you don't have to buy the grinder. If you like what you see, check it out. I think it's an amazing machine. It has some innovations that you won't see on other grinders, and I really put a lot of effort into this. If you don't like it and you're in some other camp, and not necessarily just the TW90, any grinder, that sandwiches some tool arms between a couple of pieces of metal. Only so many ways to do it. And as a lot of you guys know, you look on eBay and on all the forums, there are makers popping up every day, integrating everything that they possibly can into grinders. And so, take it with a grain of salt. I make what I make. I'm not a high volume manufacturer. I never will be. I do this to supplement my military retirement. So there you go. Everything made in the United States. I don't outsource anything. I don't import anything. I do everything myself, from raw 4x8 sheets of 1/4-inch metal all the way through the powder coating, assembly, welding. Everything is touched by me. I do it all. So I'm a one-man show. And so there you go. So with no further ado, let's head out to the shop. Okay, so here we are in the shop. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible because there's a lot of ground to cover here, and I'm trying to keep this short. So this is the 13-inch 13 by 40 lathe, and that's mostly used for the forge burners. And then, like I said, 3-car garage has a door into the house. There's the grinders in the assembly area, so main area where I do assembly work on them. So we get to the grinders in just a second. There's a batch of forge burners getting ready to get mailed out tomorrow. And so a forge that I put together for my own use, 3-burner forge. And there's the mill. Good amount of work done on the grinders on the mill. So just upgraded my vise to a nice little Kurt 6-inch vise, so nice bit of kit there. And then the plasma table is in a separate room, separate bays walled off because it does get loud and noisy and dirty. So I built this 6 years ago, and it's been a great machine. It's done a lot of work for me. 6 foot wide, 10 foot long, and like I said, I do everything from beginning to end. That's a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet, 1/4 inch that I cut a bunch of work tables from, and I do everything, from the raw steel, powder coating, assembly, everything, CAD, drawing, cutting. I don't import anything, and I don't outsource anything. Everything I do on these grinders is completely done by myself in house. So yeah. So there's my welding table that the forge is sitting on, and a big old Synchro-Wave 250 TIG welder on one side, and just a little MIG welder on the other side. And with no further ado, this is the new model grinder. So Let me start with this platen. Really proud of this platen design that I came up with, and it's very functional. This mount that mounts the platen to the C plate actually has the mount for it is directly down the center of the platen, and I'll show you the benefit of that in just a minute. But because of this shape, one of the cool things that this does, actually several cool things when you tilt it to the front position here, is that because of this dip in here, you pick up this huge area for slack belt grinding, and when you're down in this position with the platen angled down like this, when you're grinding bevels and so on, especially if you freehand, seeing the development of that bevel as you come off there, and especially with the belt rotating away from you, it's a lot safer, a lot more controlled, and just really nice to be able to grind like that. And the other benefit, like I was saying, is with moving this mount over, just this whole area is just completely wide open. You could wrap around this side of the platen with a blank just as easily as on the other side. And then, of course, when you're in the opposite direction, you're used to grinding like that. You still get your regular grinds on there. And then I also offer this lower wheel as a contact wheel, sort of like this setup here, so that when it's tilted forward, you actually could do some grinding on that 2-inch contact wheel when it's in this down position here. Okay, so come off to this side and just show you that these motors, 2 horsepower, 3-phase, aluminum body, tech top motors, 4-pole, very torquey motor, very hard to bog this grinder down. And this motor is about 2.5 pounds lighter than a steel version, like a Lee-Sin or a Baldo or something like that, or even the Chinese versions that you get from like Automation Direct. So by moving that motor up a little bit and forward in the design, then it just balances this tilt mechanism is just so light, very little effort at all to tilt it over. Very, very light touch on that, and then also coming back up. It's just very, very well balanced. And of course, like I said, there's my integration of that tracking system into a more traditional tension arm, and I won't go into that too much. Said what I said about it, and that's what it is. And one of the cool things about the tracking mechanism, I also rotated the pivot 90 degrees, so instead of tilting up and down, it actually swivels left and right. And so that results in some very accurate tracking geometry. And then the other cool thing is the way that I mount the whole mechanism to the tension arm. You can loosen up these bolts and slide the entire mechanism left-right and get real good alignment from your tension or from your tracking wheel to your drive wheel and your idler wheels. So that's more of a setup kind of a thing. That's not something that you'll mess with. When I'm putting them together, able to move that back and forth and just dial it in really nice. So that's a pretty nice feature. This one's done up in a darker green. Really nice, striking finish. And for comparison, this is just the standard base model finish that you get as a 2-tone veined green. Okay, so this one I actually have hooked up to a VFD, so I'm going to run it for you really quick. And just show you how responsive this tracking is. How smooth it is. You don't even have a wheel there, just a nut for right now, really. There we go. And again, by being able to shorten up this arm it just gives you all this area in here to utilize as much of that belt as possible. So there it is in a couple of shades of green, and here it is in red kryptonite. Let's get a tight shot on that finish. It's really kind of cool. So there it is. My aim is to get a pre-sale of about 5 to 10 units of this done. I have a major remodeling project going on with the house, so I'm actually going to be out of the shop until the 3rd week of August, I believe. I have a couple of major things that are going on with a remodel with the house, so I'm going to pop in and out a lot, during that time frame, and try and pre-sell, like I said, between 5 and 10 units. And this will have an introductory price of $24.99, and that does not include shipping. But it will include the full platen and a 5x10, a very adjustable work table that goes with it. And between now and the 1st week of August, I'll have that work table finished off and mounted, and I'll post some follow-up videos of this grinder, underpower, Hagen steel, and doing some knife work and some other things, so you could get a look at it. Again, this is a really nice machine, and I really appreciate you stopping by to look at it and giving it some consideration. After that introductory price is done, just depending on the feedback and how that initial sales goes, price is going to probably go up. For what this machine is and its capabilities, I think $24.99 is an extremely attractive price on this, and more information coming on pricing with contact wheels and small wheels and stuff like that. But for right now, that's where I'm at, $24.99 plus shipping, and that's it. So thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your consideration and your support in everything that I've done over the last years with the metal art and now with the grinders. And I look forward to doing business with you. Thanks, take care, and work safe out there, guys.